Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are good and fit and doing well at your homes. Are you taking the precautionary measures? Yes, you have to take the precautionary measures. Okay, so as you all know that your summer break is off and now it's time to study. So yes, we are going to start our new lesson. So this is your video lecture 2 for the week 1 and I am your English teacher and I am going to start a new and interesting topic of grammar. But before proceeding towards our lecture, you all know that we talk about the learning achievements, or you can say the learning outputs of our lecture, so that we will be able to evaluate our success. That is known as your success criteria. Okay, so at the end of the lesson, you will be able to identify different types of, yes, at the end of the lesson, we will be able to identify different types of non-finite verb, and we will also be able to differentiate between the three main types of non-finite verb, and we will be able to use these types in our own sentences effectively. Okay, and we will know how these sentences operate and how these sentences form. So this is our learning outcome or learning output. Okay, yes, our main topic. So the main topic is types of non-finite verb, and in this chapter, students, you will get to know about the definition of non-finite verb, and we will further talk about the three types of non-finite verb: infinitives, gerunds, and present participles. So these are the three types of non-finite verb. Okay, now let's start. But again, before proceeding towards our lecture, let's have some warm-up activity that will boost up your brain and that will initiate your mind. Okay, you all know that a sentence is a combination of words. Yes, a sentence is a combination of words. So what are the two main components of a sentence? We will answer this question, and you also know that there are 8 parts of speech. And what are the 8 parts of speech? Noun, verb, adjective, adverb, pronoun, interjection, conjunction, and preposition. And we will also talk about these 8 types, and we will also answer this question, that what are the two main components of a sentence? Yes, what are the two main components of a sentence, and why verb is considered as the most important part of speech among the 8 parts of speech? Okay, now the time for the answer. Yes, the two main components of a sentence are subject and verb. And why verb is considered as the most important part of speech? Because it shows an action. So in every sentence there will be an action and there will be a person who will be performing that action. So the person who performs the action is called subject and the action is called verb. That is why a verb is considered the most important part of speech, because it is the main element of every sentence. Okay? Now, the definition of non-finite verb. Students, you know that non-finite verb is also known as auxiliary verb. And non-finite verb does not act as a main verb. Or you can say in a sentence, in a simple sentence, it does not function as a root verb. Okay? So non-finite verb cannot perform action as root of an independent clause. What is an independent clause? Independent clause is also known as principal clause. In other words, we can say a simple sentence. We have learned about types of sentences: simple sentence, complex sentence, and compound sentence. So, the independent clause is known as simple sentence. Okay, now look at the example. He found his office at a walking distance. Yes. So, what is the action in this sentence? Found. So, this found is our main verb. At a walking distance. So, walking is basically also a verb, but here it is not acting as the main verb. That is why here walking is our non-finite verb. Okay, now look at the second sentence. He will find his office at a walking distance. Now again, what is the main verb? Will find. So because it is the main action. But walking is in itself is a verb, but here it is performing as a non-finite verb. So in a sentence, when you are having two verbs, one verb will act as main verb and the other will be non-finite verb. Okay, class? Now some information. Now it's time to something to think about. Okay. Non-finite verbs do not function like a main verb. As I have told you in the previous slide that they do not function as a main verb. So if they don't function as a main verb, so how do they operate? They can act as following in a sentence. They can act as noun, they can act as an adjective, they can act as an adverb. So these are the three ways in which a non-finite verb acts. It can act as noun, which we call as gerund. It can act as an adjective, which we call present participle, and it can also act as an adverb, which we call infinitive. Now we will discuss these three types further with more elaborate discussion. Okay? Yes, what is the gerund? It is a form of non-finite verb which acts as a noun. So, in the sentence, we will be having a verb, but the verb will not be acting as a main verb. Instead of it, it will be acting as a noun. Now, this type of non-finite verb can act in two ways. It can be a subject and it can also be an object. Now we will see how they operate as a subject. Writing is an exchange of ideas. So in this, we all know that usually the subject is placed in the start of a sentence, and here the word writing, which in itself is a verb, but here it is acting as an subject and also acting as a noun. So writing is a non-finite verb, means it is a gerund and acting as a subject. Now, how non-finite verb act as an object in a sentence behaving like a noun? Yes. Now look at this sentence. I love swimming. So here love and swimming both are verbs, but the love is main verb. And I, because the action is love and I is the person who is performing that action, so I is subject and automatically swimming becomes our object. So here swimming is an object gerund which is here acting as a noun. So we have understood the concept of gerund as a subject and as an object. Okay, class? Now, yes, the second type of Non-finite verbs. What is a present participle? It is also a form of non-finite verb, as I've told you earlier that the non-finite verb acts as noun, adjective, and as an adverb. So as noun, non-finite verb act as an gerund, but when they act as adjective, they are called present participles. Yes, formation of present participle. They are also formed by adding ing with the first form of verb. But before proceeding towards it, what is an adjective? Yes, adjective is the word that qualifies a noun. It means it adds quality to a noun. So obviously a verb which will be placed before a noun is called present participle. Now we will have some example to elaborate this concept. Yes, look at the sentence. He jumped from a running train. Now look at this sentence. In this sentence we are having two verbs, jumped and running. So here the action is jumped. So this is our main verb. Now running train. We all know that train is a name of a thing, and the name of any thing, place or person is called noun. So this is our noun, and before noun what is always placed? An adjective. So as running is itself a verb but it is placed before a noun, so it is called present participle. Now look at the second example. I really like this dancing doll. Yes, the word like. Like here is our main verb, and main verbs are also called finite verbs. So the word jumped and like are finite verbs, and in the dancing doll, we all know that doll is a noun, and before the word doll, dancing is placed, so automatically the word dancing will be present participle because it is qualifying the word doll. So it is acting as an adjective here. Okay, so gerund is a word that acts as a noun in a sentence, but it will be an action. And if a verb is placed before a noun in a sentence, so it will be an adjective and it will be known as present participle. Okay, class? Now we will proceed towards the third type, which is infinitive. Infinitive. It is also a form of non-finite verb, but it acts as an adverb. Gerund acts as a noun, present participle acts as an adjective, and infinitive acts as an adverb. And all these three types are the forms of non-finite verb. Yes, how infinitive is formed? It is formed by adding to with the first form of verb. For example, to eat, to like. If I say, I like to eat apples. Now, first of all, we will underline the verbs. Like is also an action, eat is also an action. So, these two words are actions. So, these will automatically be verb. But here, I is a subject, and with subject, the word that is used, the action which is used is always our main verb. So, like is main verb, which we also call finite verb. So, automatically the word to eat will be non-finite verb. And this type of non-finite verb in which we use to with the first form of verb is called infinitive. Yes, now we will see some other examples. He reads book to gain knowledge. Yes, class. Now in this sentence, reads and to gain. Both of these are verbs. But here reads is the main action, so it is our finite verb. And to gain is infinitive. Okay, now in the second sentence, Sarah likes to play piano. Again, Sarah is our subject because she is performing the action. What is the action? Likes. So it is our finite verb. And the other verb to play here is non-finite verb, or we also call infinitive. Okay, class? So we have studied about the three types: gerunds, present participles, and infinitive. Gerunds acts as noun, present participle acts as adjective, and infinitives acts as adverb. Okay, class? Because they do not act as main verb. Yes, now here are some links of videos for your better understanding. What you have to do, you have to click these links and you have to watch these videos very carefully, and you have to grasp some information, or you have to gain some information from these videos, which will help in your better understanding and better learning. Yes, so what are the relevant tasks of this lesson? What you have to do after watching this video lecture, you will solve the book exercise. And what will you do? You will do the part A and D of page 70 on your books, on your PTB books. And you will do the part B and C of page 70 on your notebooks. So this is your copy work and this is your book work. Okay, now your notebook maintenance. You all know that we are very careful about these things. So what you are going to do about your notebook, how we have to do our work on the notebook. We will draw a margin line. We have to write day, date and homework with blue marker. We will write top headings and topic headings and questions, and you also underline this with the blue marker. And again, your notebooks should be covered with a plastic cover, and these should be in a very good condition throughout the term. And at the end of your work, you will draw an ending line. Okay, students? Yes, at the end, a big fat review or wrap-up activity means what we have learned in our lecture, what we have done today. Yes, we have done the definition of non-finite verb. Yes, we have learned that non-finite verb is a type of verb which does not depend upon the subject because it does not act as a main verb. And it also does not depend upon the three parameters of subject. Means, for example, if I say running is good for health. Yes. If I say running is good for health. So running can't be singular, running can't be plural. So it does not depend upon the number. And running is good for health. Running is good for health. It means if we talk about the tense, as we all know, there are three tenses: present, past and future. So running is that activity which will be helpful for any person in present, in past or in future. So it also does not depend upon the tense as well. So non-finite verb does not depend upon the three basic parameters of a subject. Okay. So if they does not If they do not act as a main verb, so how do they operate? So how do they function? Yes, we have studied that non-finite verbs act as a noun. When they act as a noun, they are known as gerunds. They also act as adverb. When they act as adverb, they are known as infinitives. And when they act as adjectives, they are known participles, present participles. Okay, class? I think you have understood the concept very carefully, and you will watch the videos very carefully. You will see this video lecture and you will try to learn the concepts, and you will try to solve the book exercises, and you will do your notebook work very neatly and cleanly. Okay? Thank you, class. Allah Hafiz.